Hey, my name is Philip Brady, and I'm delighted to get to be invited by your gym to deliver this really short training on beliefs and self-belief in particular. And why this is important is because often some of the beliefs that we believe to be true weren't ours. They're other people's limitations or thoughts that we've held on a little bit too long. And self-belief will decide whether you take on more challenge or less, whether you feel excited about the future or retreat to the past and the kind of habits that you have. And so what I wanted to tell you is a really quick story about elephants. And there's a story about an elephant in the circus who's a 2-ton fully grown animal. Each of their teeth, and they have roughly 30, are 3 kilograms each. So just their teeth are almost 100 kilograms, more than I can deadlift or squat. So really heavy animals. And a fully grown elephant can be restrained by a really small rope. And the reason for that is because as a young elephant, the rope was always stronger than the strength of the elephant. And as it grew and it grew and it grew, it was still under the belief that that rope was always stronger, because for a period of time it was. And so there are beliefs that are true that you believe about yourself, about other people, and about the world around you. And so some of them might not serve you as you're growing forward. And so some of this conversation and training is examine the beliefs or the thoughts that you have often and how they do or do not serve you moving forward. They do or do not serve you growing, making changes that are positive for you, for other people, for the world around you, and for the people that you love and care for. Because you are contained by the beliefs. Not many of them are yours. And so it's an invitation to let go of them. So what I wanted to do is give you a couple of kind of simple things that you can do or think about that will hopefully give you permission to lean into change, lean into a different future, lean into your transformation and your fitness journey. And I hope that this is helpful. One of them is just a reminder, you're human. We think one of the beliefs that we've inherited is that I must be perfect for everyone all the time. And it's just an illusion. It's a elephant belief that does no longer serve you. As my Tracy, my therapist, tells me, it's all bullshit. These are all just made up beliefs that we hold to be true. And so, again, getting curious about when you put yourself under pressure or have these expectations and rules for yourself that feel so overwhelming to try and live up to. Again, we look at Instagram, we look at Facebook, we look at LinkedIn, all the kind of social media platforms. They only show bright side. They only show positive. They only show people at their best. It's just the highlight reel. And so the reality is you have highlights. Sometimes we don't even pay attention to them. But in comparison to only seeing that, we just suffer because we just see the uncertainty, the frustration, the doubt, the fear, the insecurity, all that kind of stuff. And so get really clear on accepting yourself, imperfections and all. You are human, and that's okay. You'll never be perfect. So examine those beliefs that may be too high. Must be perfect, must reply to everyone, must keep all areas and all plates spinning all the time, must be in contact with everyone, must be able to do all these kind of things. Like you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that's for now, not forever. So think about the things that are important to you right now, and then work from that place. And any belief or story that comes up in the meantime telling you that's not good enough, that's a belief. That's just a story. It might not need to be true anymore. The other thing, and I just saw this recently and I loved it, is when you think about beliefs and taking on a bigger future or a change in your life, it follows the 4 C's of confidence. And typically we want the confidence, which actually comes last, before we make the decision to move towards it. So in the future side, on the right-hand side here, commitment always comes first, making the decision to move towards that brighter future. Next, you need courage. And courage is because in response to those things that come up, or the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, you will need to develop courage. You can only show courage in response to fear, never in the absence of fear. So courage is a skill. Lean into choosing courage when you notice the beliefs or stories that come up, and that you will act anyway towards that future. Your brain will resist as much as possible to keep you back and keep you in the past, or even just in the present, because it kept you alive. Any belief or movement from there Any belief will just be to move you backwards. So you must commit and make the decision to move forwards and have the courage to lean into discomfort when it happens, because it absolutely will. So what happens when you've done this, and you already have done this many times, is you loop. When you've done the courage, when you've made the decision, you build capability. You do the 1,000 reps. The first squat you ever do, when you make the decision to do it and you lean into the discomfort and the doubt, I'm not sure I can do this, then you do 1,000. You will feel very different about your 1,000th one than you did your first. So you do 1,000 reps and you develop confidence because of the reps that you've done. So the evidence is always in the past, and so is the confidence. And that will help you move through the beliefs that may be holding you back and help you make decisions to move forward, commitment with the courage that you've already done it in the past before. And so the invitation is, what's the one thing that you might do or change because of watching this video? What's the 1% thing? It's 15 minutes a day. What's the commitments that you need to make, the decisions you need to make for your future? And how can you demonstrate courage a little bit more often when you notice resistance or doubt or fear or insecurity show up? You can only show courage in response to fear, never the absence. Maybe it's also useful to think about the capability that you've already built, the experiences you've already got, the evidence you already have that you can do what it is that you want to do in the future, and also give yourself credit for how much you've already achieved. That will top up your confidence, helping your self-belief, and typically we don't give ourselves credit for that. So think about what you're proud of, the challenges you've overcome, and again, that will help you lean into the future with a little bit more self-belief. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm Vitamin P Coaching, Philip Brady, and it's been an honor to do this session on self-belief.